Sarah Ferguson relied on one royal relative, whom she considered more of a mother than her own flesh and blood during the ex-Prince Andrew crisis. Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, has always spoken candidly about the emotional turbulence that surrounded her life. During the most difficult chapters of her marriage to Prince Andrew, in the late 1980s and early 1990s, as the marriage began to fracture, under the weight of public scrutiny, constant media pressure, and irreconcilable personal differences, Sarah found herself navigating one of the loneliest periods of her adult life. Her own mother, Susan Barantes, had left the family home when Sarah was only 13 years old, moving to Argentina to start a new life with Hector Barantes. Although Susan remained in occasional contact with her daughters, the emotional distance was profound and never fully bridged. Sarah has described her childhood as one marked by abandonment, a wound that never completely healed even decades later. It was during this time of personal crisis, when her marriage was crumbling and the press hounded her relentlessly, that Sarah turned to one royal relative above all others: Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother. The Queen Mother, born Elizabeth Angela Marguerite Bowes-Lyon, and known affectionately within the family as Granny, became for Sarah the maternal figure she had longed for since adolescence. Sarah has since openly stated that she considered the Queen Mother more of a mother to her than her own flesh and blood ever was. This relationship was not merely polite or formal. It was warm, nurturing, deeply supportive and profoundly comforting. The Queen Mother, then in her late 80s and early 90s, welcomed Sarah into her home at Clarence House and later at Royal Lodge, with genuine affection and without judgment. She listened patiently as Sarah poured out her confusion, her fears about the future and her heartbreak over the failing marriage. The older woman offered wisdom, gentle humor, and the kind of unconditional acceptance that Sarah had rarely experienced growing up. Friends of the Duchess have recounted how Sarah would drive to Clarence House on difficult afternoons, sometimes unannounced, simply needing someone to talk to. The Queen Mother never turned her away. She would pour tea, sit quietly and let Sarah speak for as long as necessary without interruption. There were no lectures, no demands for explanations. Only steady, loving presence. Sarah later reflected that those afternoons saved her from sinking even deeper into despair. The Queen Mother's own life had not been without hardship. Widowed in 1952 at the age of 51, she had rebuilt her existence around duty, family, and a quiet determination to support her daughter, the young Queen Elizabeth II. She understood what it meant to live under public scrutiny, to carry responsibility while privately grieving, and to maintain dignity when the world watched every move. That shared understanding created a unique bond between the elderly Queen Mother and the much younger Duchess. Sarah has spoken of the Queen Mother's extraordinary kindness and her ability to make even the most painful moments feel bearable through simple human connection. During the darkest days of the Andrew crisis, when tabloids printed daily stories of infidelity, financial strain and marital breakdown. The Queen Mother remained one of the few people who refused to judge Sarah. She saw beyond the headlines to the vulnerable woman beneath. When the separation was formally announced in 1992, and the eventual divorce followed in 1996, the Queen Mother continued to invite Sarah to family gatherings, to Balmoral, to Clarence House, and to her private birthday celebrations. This acceptance was far from universal within the royal family. Some members maintained a more formal distance after the marriage ended, but the Queen Mother never wavered in her personal warmth toward Sarah. Sarah has said on multiple occasions that the Queen Mother treated her exactly as she would a beloved granddaughter, with no distinction made between blood relation and chosen family. The Duchess has described receiving handwritten notes of encouragement from the Queen Mother during her lowest moments. Small cards containing words of faith, hope, and gentle reminders that life would eventually brighten again. These letters, Sarah has said, were kept for years and reread whenever she felt overwhelmed. The Queen Mother's influence extended beyond emotional support. She also quietly encouraged Sarah to pursue her own path, to rebuild her life with dignity and purpose. When Sarah began writing children's books, embarked on charity work and later developed her own brand of lifestyle products, the Queen Mother followed these endeavors with genuine interest and pride. Sarah has recounted how the Queen Mother would ask detailed questions about her projects, showing the same enthusiasm she once showed for her daughter's coronation preparations or her granddaughter's early milestones. This maternal role was never officially acknowledged in public statements, but within the family and among close friends it was widely recognized. After the Queen Mother's death in 2002 at the age of 101, Sarah spoke publicly of her grief and gratitude. She described the older woman as the grandmother I never had and the mother figure I always wished for. In interviews she has said that losing the Queen Mother felt like losing the one person who had truly seen her, understood her and loved her without condition. The bond between Sarah Ferguson and Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, remains one of the most touching and least publicized relationships in modern royal history. It was built not on obligation or protocol, but on genuine human connection at a time when Sarah needed it most. The Andrew crisis was a painful chapter that reshaped Sarah's life in profound ways. Yet through it all, she had one constant ally who offered the maternal love she had missed since childhood. The Queen Mother's quiet, steadfast support helped Sarah survive the storm and eventually find her way to a new chapter of independence, resilience and self-acceptance. Years later, Sarah still speaks of her with deep affection and a sense of enduring gratitude. The relationship between the two women stands as a quiet testament to the power of kindness, the healing force of acceptance, and the importance of chosen family. When biological ties fall short. In the end, the Duchess of York did not find the mother figure she needed in her early life. She found her much later, in the most unexpected place. Within the heart of the royal family itself. And for that gift, Sarah Ferguson has remained thankful. Every single day since. The story of Sarah and the Queen Mother is not one of titles or protocol. It is a story of two women who, despite the vast differences in age, status and circumstance, found in each other the comfort, understanding, and unconditional love that both had needed at different times. That bond, forged in crisis and sustained for years, remains one of the most beautiful footnotes in the long and complex history of the British royal family. A quiet, tender, fiercely loyal friendship between a duchess in distress and a queen mother who chose compassion over judgment. It is a reminder that even in the most public of lives, the most important relationships are often the most private, and that sometimes the truest form of family is the one we choose, cherish and hold close when the world feels too